Kyle, here goes your tires, buddy.
Video, Kyle?
Brand new ones.
You could have at least put the front ones on the back. Those are old ones.
Lubing right day and night.
And we're supposed to be powered by science.
That's very true.
We better be able to get two people on one train somehow.
Here it comes. Yep, that's it.
Because every time I'm in his office, he's sitting there and all of a sudden he just reaches like this and there's a piece of chicken in his hand.
I'm like, how much chicken is under your desk?
I overshot the R&D budget this week, so I'm going to need that $250.
Lubing it right day and night.
Welcome to another edition of Get Your Woohoo In.
No, it wasn't. He held it for so long.
I know, he delayed our start.
Yeah, I got treed on that one.
You did. So Kevin or Aaron and myself are here today, episode number 78. Remember, we're streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. You get your YouTube up yet?
I do not.
We're gonna start tracking that though. We keep saying that, so we're dual streaming. Make sure you like and share the video, and follow us on Instagram and YouTube. I'm sure Josh would love that. And as always, we're here to answer your questions, so go ahead and start posting them below. We'll get to them today. I think everybody knows the topic of the day. Go ahead.
I do. It's our spray greases.
It's our spray greases. That's right. So
sometimes you trick me.
I know. So, as always, we're going to recap what's going on here at Hot Shot Secret, answer your questions. And today we're going to learn more about our new Never Rust lubricant and our spray and stay grease, which is now available. You can order it right now as we're talking on the web. And I know our dealers have been ordering it up all week, so our independent dealers are going to have it out there. If you've got an independent dealer near you that you frequent, let them know that you want it, and they can stock it. And, of course, what we're going to give away today.
We're going to give away some of these cans.
We are. We're going to give away some spray lubricants.
Is it going to be random, or are you
and
going to
MATS
let them
tickets.
choose?
We got MATS tickets out here? Nope. But as you guys all know, we've got
MATS
tons of MATS tickets. Go ahead and message Levi. He'll send you some MATS tickets, but we'll include some MATS tickets with the spray lubricants as well. What's our weekly tech tip? That's kind of our new thing. I noticed, Josh, where you've been pulling these from. Random thoughts throughout the week show up in our weekly tech tip.
A random tech tip is... Oh, wait. Random thought? What was the question?
Tech tip.
The tech tip is when you have extra FR3, you can use it in things like hydraulic systems, power steering pumps, your differential. So don't just let that little bit hang out on the shelf and be sad.
We've got a couple questions coming in of people that said, I put a little too much FR3 in, is that okay? Or, you know, my vehicle may take 14 ounces, I got a 16-ounce bottle, is it okay if I just put 16 ounces in? The answer is, yeah, you're fine. You're not gonna hurt anything by overdosing a little bit on the FR3, but it's one of those unique products that if I've got an ounce left in the bottle, I'll find something for it. Lawnmowers love it. Lawnmowers are great with it. Small engines, any of that type of stuff. So if you got extra FR3, like we always say, we formulate our products to the peak of the gain curve. So, you know, the thought of sometimes a little's good, so a lot's great. It's not necessarily the case with our lineup. So you're kind of just pouring money down the drain a lot of times when you go over our recommended dosage. So hang on to it. Use that FR3 in other places. A lot of good places for it. Jump in on our web announcements, man. Oh, actually, I just skipped one. Today, we want to know where you're watching from, and we still are waiting for your guy from
South Dakota.
Dakota.
Anybody.
Anybody from South Dakota.
I don't think South Dakota exists.
Yeah,
I have never met anyone from South Dakota.
I know some people from South Dakota.
Are you sure?
I do. Yeah, we got dealers out there. Prove to him that somebody lives in South Dakota.
And if you have dealers, have them send in a sticker for our wall.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, we need a South Dakota sticker up there. So, web announcements. What we got?
Web announcements. To subscribe to our email for other announcements.
That's right.
Our newsletter. And Levi signed me up, and I appreciate it because I don't get 13 a day.
There you go. So Levi's shown you, and as we showed you a few weeks ago, we signed up Aaron live, and again, we don't spam you. It's actually really good information. It's not a bunch of sales stuff, buyer stuff. We're really working a lot on good educational content, so it's a good way to, and like we always say, you can scroll on through your emails. You don't have to open it, but it's there if you need it, and it's some good content, so we highly recommend it. Yes. And you've been happy since we signed you up without your asking.
Absolutely.
Well, good. Dealer shout-out time. So, how about Lethal Injection and from Kearney, Nebraska? Genoir Towing, spelled wrong there, in Soldotna, Alaska. Genoir's been with us for a while, and so we're really happy to have them up there in Alaska. They distribute throughout Alaska up there, so, and it feels like Alaska today here, so so thanks to Genoir.
Yeah.
Supreme Diesel in Sexsmith, Alberta, Canada. Oh, CMB Diesel, Jackson, Missouri. A new dealer just brought in a full line of additives. Shout out to our buddy Artie Moppin from Diesel Army. He was actually out at CMB Diesel and called me, and he's like, I'm in a diesel shop right now that could really use your guys' stuff. And got me on the phone with the guy. We talked to him, and so welcome aboard, CMB Diesel. Glad to have you on, and thanks to Artie for introducing somebody else to our products. And Diesel Truck Stuff down there in Killeen, Texas now has the Never Rust in stock. So for those of you down there in Texas, you want to get a hold of what we're going to be talking about today, go see Diesel Truck Stuff. They've got it in stock down there, ready for you guys. I'm sure they're probably going to be using it themselves. That's a good thing about our dealers. They're going to be using this product too, as well as selling it. So that's great. Dealer wall, again, forgot my stickers, but I had one here because guess who was here last week? Mr. Michael Beard from Loose Rocker came by, and I think that'll be coming up here in our event announcements. We're getting closer. March 12th through the 15th is the Hot Shots Secret St. Patrick's Classic. It's out there at VMP, Virginia Motorsports Park. I know a couple of it's a big money bracket race. I know Trey Sykes is going to make it up there from North Carolina. Chris Mancini, Bracket Racing Jesus, as they call him, is making the trip from Pennsylvania out there, chasing those big dollars. Michael Beard runs Loose Rocker, runs all these events. He stopped by last week to pick up some Hot Shots stuff to paint the track with, so I appreciate that. And so we're going to get Loose Rocker on the wall. You haven't put one up for the last couple weeks. I'll start you off here.
And since it's a loose rocker, I'm going to put it up sideways.
We were talking about that. So shout out to Michael Beard. And speaking of Michael Beard, I just saw when he was here last week and we were talking, we had some talks about social media and YouTube and these videos. And he said, I'm going to start doing that. I think people would be interesting to see. You know, people don't want to just see the racing the whole time. They want to see behind the scenes and everything. So Michael Beard just started a YouTube channel. His first video's up. Go follow that. I think he went out this past weekend to one of those practice tree tournaments, and he kind of walks you along how it goes. So talks to a bunch of racers in the off season. It's really cool. So I wish I knew the YouTube channel, but I'm sure you can find it under Michael Beard or Loose Rocker. So there you go, on the wall.
On the wall.
On the wall. And a reminder to our dealers, our influencers, our friends, our partners, you got a decal you want on our wall. This is our new studio that we're filming a lot at. It's right here behind the lift that's right behind us. And it'll get some TV time in a lot of our shooting. So send your stickers in. We'll get them on the wall. What's going on Hot Shot Secret TV land?
Trek U at 1 on Saturday. Leap day, mind you.
Oh, it is Leap Day.
So once every 4 years, we're going to have a Diesel Extreme and EDT episode.
Side note about us, my brother's birthday is March 1st. He was almost born on February 29th. So we joke he'd be like 10 years old now because he only had 10 birthdays. I think everybody wanted to know that.
Why is it a joke?
It's a true story. So they're doing the two-step on the Diesel Extreme EDT break room.
And Stiction Eliminator on Sunday at 10:30.
Yep. Shout out to the guys down there at Truck U. You get a back-to-back Saturday, Sunday this weekend. So catch those. And we got a lot of events coming up. We're really sick of being in this cold weather.
We are.
And it is almost event season.
They should have an event in Florida.
They should. They should kick off the season with an event in Florida.
That would be a great idea.
What do you know? March 13th and 14th starts the Outlaw Diesel Super Series at Suncoast. The Suncoast race down there at Emerald Coast Dragway kicks off the season. We're looking forward to it. I think there's some big stuff happening that.
I hope.
There's some big stuff happening. We're gonna keep that in our pocket for now, but really cool stuff going on down there. We're looking forward to kicking off the season. We're having a giveaway. If you haven't been to our Facebook page yet, I know a lot of people who probably watch our program are big fans of Hot Shot Secret. Maybe you know somebody who doesn't know us too well that races in the Outlaw Diesel Super Series. We are giving away a full fluid swap.
Right.
I mean, the works. One lucky person is going to get a full motor full of adrenaline racing oil, adrenaline racing transmission fluid, adrenaline racing gear oil. I think we're even including some diesel extreme in there to get the fuel system cleaned out, some LX4 to lubricate that stuff, oil analysis kit, swag, hoodie, t-shirt, hat, you name it, the works. And and all you have to do, if I'm right, Levi, is go to the Facebook page, post a picture of your truck, let us know which class you're going to be racing in, and like and share it. And one lucky person, I think the only rules are you got to be at the Florida race, and you can't be running Hot Shots fluids already. So we're looking to convert somebody that's been wanting to come over to the good sauce, and here's a chance to get all of it in one. Every fluid in there, we're going to swap over. So
Should do it after day one. So they've already got the times, then do the fluid swap.
well, I've already said I'm worried about anybody running an index right on their number.
Right.
They're gonna swap over and start breaking out. You got to worry
absolutely.
about that. So like and share that. Let people know that may not be running our fluids. It's a good chance to get to try all of them all at once. And so we're looking forward to kicking off the season. That's a cool way to do it. And side note to that, I talked to Firepunk, and they've been nice enough to allow us to use their pits there. So if somebody's coming down to the Florida race, on an open trailer or something, and wins all these great fluids, but doesn't have a place to really swap them out well, our friends over at Firepunk have been nice enough to allow us to use their pits and their tools and everything. So you'll get the works to be able to get all the fluids swapped out. So really cool giveaway we're doing. Make sure you share that and let people know. That same weekend, as we mentioned, is the Loose Rocker Hot Shot Secret St. Patrick's Classic. That's going down in Virginia Motorsports Park. And then the weekend after that, NTPA, Poland time. So that's the Spring Nationals. It's at the Michiana Event Center. Did I say that right?
I don't know, but say the city.
Shipshewana. No problem there. Shipshewana, Indiana. So as you guys know, we made the big sponsorship this year with the NTPA. We're looking forward to that. And March 20th, 21st, be in Indiana there. So look out for that. And then closing out March,
MATS.
We've been telling you about it. And we got tickets.
Get your
so
tickets, yeah.
Get your tickets. We got tickets. You guys are going to want to come to that.
What's Matt stand?
Mid-American Trucking Show.
You got it.
Awesome.
And we normally do like a 10-foot booth there. Chris always comes down. It's like the one show we get to Chris gets to every single year. He doesn't miss it. We really partner up with our friends down at 700 WLW with Steve Summers, and Chris usually does an interview down there as well. And he usually brings the camper down. I don't know if he's bringing the camper or not, but it's a good time. This year we've gone a lot bigger. We have a 20 by 20 island booth set up, and we've got something really cool. We're still not going to tell you quite
Don't
yet.
tell.
We got too much stuff coming up, but wait
I
till you
know
see.
you're not allowed to tell that.
I know I'm not allowed to tell that, but we have something really cool that is going to just change the game for Mats, and it's going to be a showstopper. So stay tuned for that. What's going on in marketing?
See, I told you I should be marketing. The Euro oils are at the finish line to be released. Expect them very soon.
It's very
I
soon.
think we're
Got us a date there, Levi? I believe I heard March 5th.
it's
Is that right? March 5th, the Euros are going to be out. So we've been pumping them out lately, folks. I know we've been. What's nice about having this Facebook Live, it allows you to see what's going on here at Hot Shot Secret. The downside of that is you get to see what's going on here at Hot Shot Secret, and you hear about products coming, and then we hear it from you guys saying, "When's that coming out? When's it coming out?" Normally, most companies don't open the doors like this, so you don't know something's coming. But we've got the new 1030 Green Diamond oil out for all the new trucks that have dropped down to a 30 weight oil, the 19s and the 20s. That's out. It's available. It's on the shelf. We're shipping. Now we got the spray lubricants out. They're out. They're out there on the pallets. They're shipping. Next up, right behind it, it's going to be the Euro oil. So we'll talk about more about this when they come. It's going to be a 530 and a 540.
correct.
Great. So I think March 5th we'll start shipping. So sometime next week we'll talk about it. Maybe next week we'll talk about it. Maybe so. Sales. Watch your email on Monday for a flash sale. While supplies last on one product. I know what it is.
I think I know what it is.
I know what it is too.
Should we tell him?
Should we tell them?
No. Keep it a secret.
This is going to go on the web too, right? Should we tell them? Okay. Watch your email. Good reason to subscribe to the email system. So Monday, you'll see an email go out about a special that we're going on. And dealers, you'll see it as well. We're gonna reach out to you on Monday. It's a limited time only. We got a couple pallets of something back there that we want to get rid of. So you're gonna be the first to have a stab at it. So stay tuned to that on Monday. And tell me to check our comments before we get too big. I see Troy Kennedy in there as usual.
Does
Troy,
does he have
you're
a top
first.
fan badge?
Troy Kennedy's got the top fan badge.
All right.
Congrats, Troy. Hang on to it
He's
with
been
your
fighting
life.
for that.
The Bearded Medic's in here. Nicholas Chappelle, our dealer's in here. Clinton Gasson's checking out. Clinton Gasson's rocking the top fan badge. Clinton's been a regular for quite a while now, so glad to have you in, Clinton. Devin Daniels is in. Devin Daniels, and shout out one thing we didn't mention. MSO, our Memphis Street Outlaws, are down in Alabama this weekend. I know Devin Daniels is rolling down there with our buddy Buster, who's going to be racing this weekend as well. So good luck to all our Memphis Street Outlaws at JJ's Arm Drop down there in Alabama. I think they're testing today, and they're going to get racing tomorrow. So good luck to all them. Brandon Mass is in from Mass Traction there. Let's see. Christian Bates, top fan badge. Always in every week. Congrats on getting the badge back, Tony. Dylan Kick's watching. Dylan, I saw that you're on the move from California and trying to make that Alabama race, so hope you make it down there. Mass Traction says, need some of that for down here in Florida. Everything is rusting with the salt air. Yeah, Brandon, it's good stuff. We're going to talk about it, so we'll get you going. Ashley's watching. Shout out to Ashley. Ashley took a break. She's down there in Florida herself, so glad she's probably on the beach watching us right now. Ashley, you left at a good time. It's snowing. It's not fun here. Troy Kenny says, is the RV Easy Slide the same as the new Protected? No, it's not. We don't have the RV Easy Slide out yet, so we'll address that when we get to it. We're still working on the RV products. They should be out soon. Ashley says hi from Florida. Lucky. FR3 is pretty awesome, Christian Bates says. Yes, it is. John Barrett says, have y'all seen the review of the FR3 Project Farm did on YouTube? Yes, we have seen it. We thank the Project Farm guy for testing our products. We love when he does it. We got some mixed feedback from it. We actually are working on a response, right?
Yes. Yes, we're attempting to work on the response.
Yes,
it's nonstop.
They're working on it. So we're
So,
really happy
I guess-
to anytime we get our products tested like that. We got a lot of feedback from a lot of our fans and followers that use our products a lot. A lot of the people that we've tested with that have seen gains in certain areas and say, well, why didn't we see a gain on the initial test on it? One thing, if you watch the video, at the end of the video on the MPG part of it, he talks about he didn't put a load on the motor. As anybody knows, as we test it, we usually put, idle the motors for a half hour, put loads on certain things. So there are some testing things that we're going to address. But other than that, we were really happy to see the wear results and everything else in it. So, yep, we're well aware of it. And watch out for a response coming from us that's going to kind of walk you through the testing that you saw there. Rudolph Brothers and Company is in the house. What's up, Jared? Congrats. I think we reported a couple weeks ago when Don went up north with the Rudolph Brothers rep, and they visited a speed shop up there, and I just saw they came on board not just as a customer of Rudolph Brothers and Company, they became a full Hot Shots dealer. So really proud to see that. Congrats to you guys. Looking forward to having another dealer out there for us. We appreciate it. Eric Wilkes says, hello from Arizona. Can't wait to hear about the new products. We'll get into that. Devin Neal says, Kyle Fisher, we at Cottonwood, Alabama, we loving that Hot Shots secret. Great. Good luck this weekend, guys, down there in Alabama. Christian Bates said, I just ordered the Spray and Stay and the Never Rust. Hopefully we'll have time to do a review on it. My page for my customers. Awesome. We appreciate it. Look forward to seeing your review. Cindy Fisher's in, of course. Hey, Mom. There she is. Hi, Kyle. Love you. Love you too, Mom. Can't get away from that. Mass Trek says, I love the white shirt. You look so professional today.
Who said that? Brandon?
Brandon did.
Nice, thanks.
It's the glasses. You're looking kind of classy.
I've,
You're out of your normal
I'm trying
lab
to pretend
robe.
to be Chris because he was gone on vacation for a while, and he came back, and I forgot to step out of you.
Get back to the...
Yeah.
Artie Boppin's watching. What's up, Artie? I just gave you a shout out because our friends over at CMB Diesel came on as dealers, and we appreciate you introducing them to us.
And I have sent the correct Hot Shot Secret G56 test fluid to him.
All right, Artie, there you go. You got
So
some new
it should be
G56
there in a
coming your
couple
way.
days.
Devin Nance says Buster Race Channel is at JJ DeBoss Arm Drop in Cottonwood, Alabama. So go check out the Buster's Race Channel on YouTube. You can watch some of that live racing down there. Sean Tripley, my birthday is March 1st too, turning 30. My brother's older than you. You're lucky. Troy Kennedy just finished installing a 65 car with fellow Ohio Brake Company. Put FR3 as the final top off for the brake fluid. Ooh.
Ouch.
Troy, I don't know if you want to put FR3 in the brake fluid. Kevin?
We've never tried that.
Right.
Yeah, Troy, report back to us. We know Troy well. So Troy, let us know how that goes. We'll keep you posted on that. You scared the R&D here a little bit. So, Chad Myers, 73, picked up some spray and stay and never rust last week. Chad Myers, 73, YouTube channel. We got to figure it out. We saw your review. I think Levi's pulling it up right now on your YouTube channel. We have no idea how he got it.
Right. I didn't send it to him.
We were in a meeting this week and we were like, "Hey, we saw Chad Myers 73 put up."
Last Thursday, we got it in time.
Oh, he ordered it on the web. Ah, okay. That's some quick
Okay.
shipping. Man, you
Nice.
were quick to air on that. He was first to market. He knows what he's doing on YouTube. Great, Chad. Hey, we appreciate the video too, Chad Myers. That was great to see. David Sanders is watching. Chris's old buddy. Let's see. Troy Kennedy's busy today. Full hot shots fluid done in a 65 Buick now. Rear diff, trans, engine, power steering, and brakes. Upcoming France install on a 69 muscle car. All made in America. Toot Holly's watching. What's up, Toot? Rudolph Brothers says, sending sunshine from the Florida Rudolph Brothers crew. Lucky you guys. Billy Hoskinson's watching. Hey, Billy, how you doing, bud? Let's see. Almost caught up here. You should be down here with us, Kyle. Almost with Hercules. Good luck to Hercules this weekend. For those of you who saw Hercules' new look at our PRI booth this year, it looks pretty out there. So kick some butt down there in Alabama. Toot says, looking good, man, Kyle. Well, I try, but he's looking better than me today.
Yeah, that's why I'm dressed up.
Yeah,
because
he's trying to-
They said you were better looking and better dressed, so I did try to
Yeah,
at least take
just
one of
step
them
up
away.
game. All right.
I mean, I'm fine with one, but not
Brent
both.
says maybe France filter flash sale. I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it, but we'll see. Let's see. EcoDiesel still going strong with FR3, EDT, LX4, Stiction Eliminator, and Diesel Extreme. Awesome. Great to hear. Great to hear. Now, leading up before we get into Max, I see your question here. We're about to get to it. He asked, "Will spray and stay work for my Jeep Wrangler hinges?" Yes, it will, and we'll get into that. But now that we're caught up, we're going to get into our. Before we get into our products, we're going to get into our Get to Know Us segment. Dun, dun, dun. We need like an intro music for that. And I think I know somebody who we could use for our Get to Know Us segment.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Huh.
Which one should we choose?
I don't know. They're both looking pretty nervous.
I'm not sure what we're talking about.
Come on in. Look who we got here, Mr. Chris Gabrelchek himself.
All right, you can sit down. I'm fine. I'll be the big guy in the middle.
So, as you've noticed, Chris changed ethnicity since he left. He's darkened about 14 skin tones. What'd you spend 3-4 weeks down in Florida?
Just three. Just three, and then I came back and it snowed.
And you brought all the snow with you.
And I really want to go back, but that's all right.
So we started a little fun segment just because, we open our doors here, let everybody know what we do, but
Yeah.
learn about us a little bit.
Okay.
So we got a little rapid fire kind of thing, and we're going to learn about Chris today. So, Chris, where were you born?
Youngstown, Ohio. Northeast Ohio, still Milltown.
And he has the greatest Youngstown stories of anybody I've ever heard.
Youngstown is an interesting place to grow up, and that's where I grew up most of my life. I moved down here in 1984.
You still got a lot of family up there.
Yeah, most of my family's still in Youngstown.
Yep.
Go up and visit.
I love when you come back and tell stories about Youngstown today.
Youngstown is a wild place.
So where did you grow up?
In Youngstown.
Youngstown.
Went to school in Youngstown.
What was your first job?
My first job was when I was 12. There was a guy down the corner that had a little junk shop, and he would go to flea markets and to auctions and buy stuff and bring it back in an old crappy pickup truck. And he would pay me to unload the truck, dust everything off, and put it on the shelves in this little junk shop. Paid $1 a day.
$1 a day.
$1 a day. Got a buck a day. At the end of the day,
How
give
old-
me a buck. I was 12. And I moved up from there to doing yard work for $20 a week. and then hit the big leagues. Up there they had a place called Oakland Field, and they would pay 2 of us to get the fly balls that went out into the grass.
Oh, okay.
So one guy would stay up in the stadium and tell the other guy where to run. So my older brother and I would do that.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it was. It was. We were there every night from 7 until midnight, and it was $8 a night. So at the end, they take collection. They give us each $8, so that was good times.
That sounds like a cool job.
Yeah.
So where did you go to school, and what did you like to study?
I went to school. I went 2 years to Ursuline High School and 2 years to East High School in Youngstown, and chemistry was my best subject.
Imagine that.
Yeah, chemistry was my best
Imagine
subject.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. The rest of it wasn't so exciting to me. So I
No.
spent a lot of time working during the day and would skip school. That was okay back then, I guess.
It's a good thing to do, huh? Quit looking. I see you peeking. Did you play sports growing up?
I did. Generally, we played football and basketball in Youngstown. Baseball wasn't that big, but that was our thing. Basketball.
Okay.
I'm a little tall, so.
And what's your favorite hobby?
My favorite hobby today is woodworking and camping. I love camping because you get to see the country. It's inexpensive, and you're always outside. And then woodworking. I got.
What kind of woodworking?
Just about everything. We build things. We got, a couple of years ago we had to clear some land, so we had a lot of trees. So we bought a little 2-man sawmill, and we cut some walnut and some cherry, and then bring it into the shop and build things with it. It's always fun.
Yep. I think I saw some. Was there some shelving you're doing with?
There's some shelves here. There's some live edge seems to be the thing where you leave the bark on part
Right.
of it. So we do some of that.
Live edge.
Live edge. Yeah, that seems to be the new fad. So it's kind of fun. I mean, it's
Yeah.
neat to see the wood in its a little bit more natural state.
Right. Right. Your favorite holiday?
Favorite holiday would have to be the 4th of July.
Really? Well, I know you guys have crazy 4th of Julys.
Yeah, because we live out in the country and we've got, a good bit of acreage. We usually take turns inviting our families down for 4th of July.
That's right. It's usually all the Tammys come for
Yep.
1 year, then next year all yours
Correct.
come in. Yeah.
So we have kind of a big shindiggery that lasts for about a week, and
And they all stay there. Like you bring the whole family tree over, and they all stay at your place. And
They do.
RVs and some camp out, right?
some camp out, some bring RVs, some just stay at the house, and we hang out all week, have campfires, have a
It's
lot
like
of
4th of
fireworks.
July every day for a week there, right? Like it's just.
Yeah, well, they kind of come in shifts.
Yeah.
Not everybody can take a week off, but the early adopters will get there early, and
You're there the whole
They're
time.
early
they're there,
adopters.
yeah, they're there the whole time, and they're usually the last ones to leave, and then people that have a heavier workload come in just for the day or two or the weekend, and then they kind of come in and go. But it's always great to catch up with
So do you
everybody.
have like giant like feasts or something? I mean, how
We
do you-
do. There's food 24/7. There's food out. So everybody brings food. They make food. We buy food, but there's usually a buffet out the whole time for the whole week. And,
Other fireworks.
And there's fireworks. The fireworks can be quite large. So it seems like you get a whole bunch of people involved in that, and it really gets large.
Do you allow Chad to attend this?
We do allow Chad. Chad he's like a family member, so he comes and hangs out with the family.
Oh boy.
Is he in
always
charge
good
of the
time.
fireworks?
No. My younger brother Jeff is in charge of the fireworks. Him and his son Jeff, and they usually put on quite a show.
All right. So, what is your favorite alcoholic beverage?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Well, it'd probably be beer with whiskey in it, a Boilermaker.
Wow.
Yeah, so
You got me to drink that once.
it's
It's
the best
good.
way. Makes the beer taste good. Gives a little oaky flavor, and just put a shot of whiskey in the beer and gives it that. It just kind of brings out the taste.
I can't wait for Kevin's Get to Know Us segment. We can ask him that question.
Yeah, that'd be a tough pick for him.
No.
He likes a little bit of everything.
Have you seen his selection lately?
Yes, the seltzer water.
Peach Natty Light Seltzer.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kevin. Everybody had to know.
So you just ruined that segment.
Not
so much of a mystery box,
Nope,
is it?
We're gonna pull that one up. So, what's your favorite TV show or movie?
Since you asked. Favorite TV show would be MacGyver.
Oh,
MacGyver. I've got all 8 seasons plus both movies.
really? There were 2 movies?
Yeah, there was 2 movies.
Do you have the posters too?
No, I don't have posters, but me and the kids have watched that many, many times. Back before Netflix, when DVDs were the thing. And then Burn Notice would be the the follow-up for that. That's a really good.
I will say, you always come up with very strange movies that you say, have you ever seen that, Kyle? And I'm like, what? And then they'll tell you the whole movie. I think the last one was the retirees with the lion and.
Oh, Secondhand Lion? Oh, that's a great movie, man.
See, here it goes.
Yeah, you gotta watch Secondhand Lion.
Never heard of it. I gotta watch it now, though.
Yeah, Secondhand Lion's in the top 10. If anybody's not seen that, you should go watch that.
We gotta read this. Actually, looked like we were supposed to have Don on today. So the 10th question is usually a guide one. That'd be a decent one for him, but we could come up with a better one. Well, how many cars do you own? It was intended for Don, but I'm curious to need. More like, you're probably better asked, how many RVs do you own?
I do have 2 RVs, but we're selling one.
Yeah, you've been
So-
selling that one for a year now.
Yeah, the thing about cars is I'm not really a car guy.
You're not.
So I drive a Dodge pickup truck, and Tammy's got a Kia Sorento, and that's pretty much it. I'm not.
How much equipment do you have?
Oh, I got equipment. That's a different story. That's what I like. I do have a bulldozer, a couple tractors, a backhoe.
Who's got a bulldozer and a backhoe?
I'll tell you, that bulldozer is the funnest thing. Everybody needs a bulldozer. It's the handiest thing to have around. I mean, you see something going on, it's like, you know what, we could do this over there. You just start moving dirt. It's addictive.
How often do you use the bulldozer?
In summertime, all the time, at least a couple times a week. But,
You find reasons to use it?
yeah, I've got some plans. But the thing about a bulldozer, here it's pretty. I'm sure you guys at home know it's pretty intense around here. We're always pretty focused on doing things.
Mm-hmm.
Laser focus. That's what we say at LSI. Everybody's laughing because we're not laser focused. But you get out on a dozer and you start looking at where the blade's going. You start watching the grade of the land, and you're really focused on just one little section, and you do that for a little while, and it really becomes therapeutic.
Oh.
I understand now why people paint. I can't paint. I have no artistic ability whatsoever. But if you watch how intensely they paint, and they focus on every little detail, like the detail of the brush stroke, and all that. It's like I could understand why they do that for hours, because
That's you on a bulldozer.
Yep, you get out there for a couple hours, and it's like next thing you know, it's like, man, that's like 3 inches low over there. I better go fix that. And you're like, everybody's like, 3 inches? Where do you see 3 inches low? I mean, it looks like a football field to me. It's like, no, a little dip right over there. I got to go make sure that's just right. So it's a different level of focus. It's kind of fun.
All right, I'm going to throw one last question in. Tell us something that you think nobody knows about you.
Something that nobody knows, most people don't know about me. Well, one of the things that probably most people don't know is that I'm a very devout Catholic, and I'm really, really into the church. We've started 3 Catholic radio stations, 2 different dioceses. Early on, we built them, bought them, and ran them. So it's really the passion, it's theology and doctrine and things like that. I could read about that all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, that radio station, for a lot of people in Ohio, they see the bumper sticker all the time.
8:20 a.m. in Columbus. Yeah.
If you're in Ohio, you see how many cars have that. That was originally
us, yep.
started, but yeah.
Yeah, we started 1270 WCO in Marysville. Knew very little about radio, but we bought a radio station and fixed it up, rewired it, built a new studio, and programmed it to Catholic programming. And then we built 89.5 in Mansfield. And then
And when Chris says he built it, I would say after RVs and maybe woodworking
And bulldozers.
bulldozing, he's really like a radio junkie. And
Yeah.
I mean, when he built it, you bought like the transistors and like
yeah, we built the whole thing from scratch.
just started broadcasting. Like,
Yeah, we in our backyard we put a 170-foot tower because we didn't have any internet in our area, and we're out in a rural area, so there wasn't. When we started the company, when it was just me and Levi, we were running the whole thing off of a cell phone. So, we would take the cell phone hotspot and we would bring it into a router and then into the server and serve everything in a couple buildings with Wi-Fi antennas, and they overheat because that's a lot of power going through a cell phone,
Right.
and then they kept shutting us off because we were downloading so much. So we wanted to get fiber, well, that wasn't really easily available, so we bought a tower. Bought a tower. Me and Chad went out and my wife wouldn't let us put a tower in with guide wires because she didn't want to mow around that, and she's like, you can't do that. So we bought it's a single standing tower, but to do that you have to have this big counterweight, which so it doesn't tip over. So we had to dig a 10 foot by 10 foot by 10 foot hole, and then build this whole subframe in there with rebar. We went and got like a whole bunch of rebar and a welder, and built that all up, then filled it up with concrete and set the tower in there, and just built the whole thing up from there. So now we feed the whole area with internet from there. So it was a good deal.
It's from the same tower.
Mhm.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we got a little low powered up there.
So all your neighbors get your stuff
Mhm.
from your tower?
Yeah. It's the only place to get internet out there. So.
Bet you didn't know that. So that's our Get to Know Us segment with Mr. Chris Gabrelchak. Golf clap, golf clap, golf clap. So are you going to stay on for our lubricants, or is Kevin coming on?
I brought me and Kevin. I thought we might talk about the spray greases a little bit, just
Okay.
because we were, really intimately involved in developing those. I didn't want to leave Aaron high and dry, unless you want to do it.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
There was the questions on Wednesday, like, well, don't you know anything about this? No, it was before me, sir.
Yeah.
Here,
That's me, Kevin.
stick the middle side of it.
All right, you can stay down.
We're gonna
Well, here, we're all going to
share.
share room.
Kevin, why don't you stand up over here? Why don't you step off screen for a
That's
second?
perfect.
And Kevin, you stand in the middle, because I'm tall and I feel like everybody's got to look up at me and they're like,
And you're tan, so everybody looks white.
whoa. It's like, geez, my neck is hurting. Chris, would you sit down? That's what my wife says to me. She's like, sit down, you're hurting my neck. So I try to sit. So Kevin, we decided on these spray lubes, and the reason was,
Yes. Well, on the subject of the spray lubes, sometimes we come across some unique properties from additives that we're always testing. Sometimes we go after something intentionally. And the way this came about, we just had a lot of people asking us about the product. So we did some testing with some existing additives that we had, and
some of our unique chemistries.
yeah, we thought we may have something there, so we started doing some formulating, sent some product out for testing, and saw that we had something unique compared to everybody else, and that's kind of how it came about. So then how it kind of evolved after that, with the rust inhibitor, it had a specific purpose, which was of course to prevent rust, but
Well,
thinking
actually,
of the
real quick before you dive into that, they gave me a reminder at the top to kind of index these a little bit from a spray lubricant category. We really find that there's 3 important spray lubricants that are generally used in our garages and a lot of our dealer shops and everything. We have a rust preventative spray, more of a straight up lubricant used for lubricant, and then there's also like a rust buster, people that are trying to penetrate.
yeah.
What we found in all 3 of these type of formulas, they all kind of do all of that. It's just that they shine in each one of their own categories. So to index what we have in our new offerings is the rust preventative one and the lubrication one. We don't necessarily have a penetrating rust buster yet.
Yeah.
I'm still challenging these guys, but it's been a question we get a lot from our dealers about the Never Rust so far. They're like, oh, is that a rust buster? And it's like, it's not its intended purpose.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so the overview of the products, the Never Rust, we when we did our ASTM testing, when we sent the products out to the lab, what we found was, when it was exposed to the salt fog chamber, that it excelled compared to other lubricants out on the market. So just to give you an
It
example,
didn't excel.
Well, and just so they understand what we're saying, when they use salt, usually salt creates rust, like a
Yeah.
salt water, salt spray.
So they're promoting oxidation.
Right, so we want to accelerate the process. If you have a piece of equipment outside and it's been sitting there for 2 years, it obviously doesn't have salt being poured on it, but it's going to rust.
Right.
So if we want to do that in a laboratory in 1 day, we use salty water to
To salt
accelerate.
fog, right.
We want to accelerate
Which
this
they're
whole-
using coupons, they call them, which are little stamps of steel.
Yeah.
They treat the steel with the different lubricants.
Yep.
And then they put them under a salt fog that's
Yeah.
constantly sending some salt water on them to promote the lubrication. And then they time it and they measure how long until they start to oxidize and show rust.
Yep, exactly.
And how did we turn out?
Give us some of the most known ones first, like WD-40. That's probably the most famous, right?
Yeah, so we had a couple benchmarks we knew we had to beat. WD-40 is a staple, so it went 120 hours in the salt fog test.
That's not bad. It's reasonable.
Yeah, Liquid Wrench 120, Blaster was 110. Trying to look at another.
Those are probably the top three.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the only
Yeah,
three I
they
can
really are.
recognize off of there. I mean, Royal Purple has stuff, but it's still not there. So where did ours come in on the Never Rust? That'd be this one
Yeah,
here, right?
on the Never Rust, so WD-40 again was 120. The Never Rust came in at 2,700 hours.
So 20 times longer.
22 times longer, actually.
22
yeah,
times
I
longer.
think it is,
Okay.
yeah.
And let's also remember, when we say 2,700 hours, or the 120 hours, that is under an intense, like we're trying to make it rust.
Yeah, exactly.
So when we say, if somebody were to ask us, how long will that protect, my metal for? It's longer than 2,700 hours.
Yeah.
Unless your metal's sitting in a salt water bath the entire time.
Yeah, to index those results, you would almost be guaranteed a couple years protection.
A couple years.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
So-
impressive.
And that was one of the reasons we decided to come out with this, because it was that much better than everything else.
Yeah, and there's a couple aspects, just focusing on the Never Rust and some of the other things that it does. There's some other things that when you put together a good rust inhibitor, you want it to do. One, if you're spraying something down like a wire rope, you want it to have a little bit of penetrating capability so it can evenly coat those surfaces. So we have that in there. Of course, some people are going to use it for lubricating purposes. And it actually has an extreme pressure additive in there, which we don't really advertise that a lot on our SDS sheet, but in greases, if your weld load is 200 kilograms and above, it's considered an extreme pressure grease. So we have enough extreme pressure additives actually in both of these products that it's 250 kilograms on the weld
It's
load.
been a while since I've had to unnerd
Yeah.
someone.
Okay, well, let me tell you why this is important.
Okay.
So extreme pressure additives are almost never put into a spray lubricant,
Okay.
just because they're usually going for a cost point. Now, when you're thinking about extreme pressure, you're not, it's not a gearbox that you're using a spray lubricant on.
Right.
But think about a wire rope or a cable. So these cables are twisting, and where's the wear coming from?
I see.
It's coming from inside, and they're rubbing against each other. So the extreme pressure lubricant makes them last 10 times longer.
I see.
Now, the other thing that a lot of people don't realize about cables.
So would another lubricant that doesn't have as much extreme pressure, like say, would it, if you're talking about a chain maybe on a winch or something that's under a
Correct.
big load, it's going to almost push that lubricant out a little bit more and not
Yeah.
protect it.
Correct.
So this resists that. Okay.
So what the other ones are trying to do is keep it from rusting. So say you have a tow truck cable and you spray it down with WD-40. What the job of that is to get into the inside. Most cables rot from the inside out. They don't rot from the outside because the outside's getting a lot of air and it just dries off quickly. But the rust happens from inside. So usually when you see one snapped in half, look inside and you'll see the rust in there. It happens from the inside out. So the WD-40 will help that because it'll penetrate in and keep it from rusting from the inside out. But as far as the wear goes, the anti-wear, the EP properties, extreme pressure, it's not really going to do anything. So not only are we keeping it from rusting, but we're also keeping it from wearing.
I see.
And we're lasting 20 times longer, 22 times longer. So you can see why this was such an important find for us to offer this to our customer base.
Wow.
Yeah, and the other thing is just think about how our customers are, generally hardworking diesel people. They're working out in all kinds of climates. We used a PAO synthetic base oil as the carrier, and what that does for both of these formulas, it gives you very good cold weather use and high end use. So
Right.
I think it's
Again, that's part of our thing is to be the best of the best. So we're not, if we want to make the absolute best that there is, we're not going to back down and use like a group 1 or a group 2. We went all the way to a PAO base oil.
and temperature range I'm seeing here is negative 65 degrees Fahrenheit all the way up to 300 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yep.
Well, that covers about everything, doesn't it?
Well, if you think about like an oven chain or even, like a chain that's pulling things and you're in and out of the water a lot,
Sure.
or things like that, we have the ability to stay on there and keep it from rusting and keep it from wearing. Even the links of a chain are going to be grinding against each other, a lot of wear. They make them pretty heavy duty, so it doesn't wear quickly. But the point is, they're expensive. And the
Right.
cable's really expensive. I don't I don't even know if they can mend those really easily. I think usually when a cable snaps, they just replace the whole thing.
Right.
So, you know, being able to add that much durability to it is a huge value.
Hey, by the way, real quick, ask your questions down below. I got both Chris and Kevin on. It's been a while, so we got the band back together. So now's the time to ask your questions.
And we have Aaron in the wings here, ready to throw anything in there.
Aaron's like, I dressed all up today too. I got kicked off the set.
I only know the questions they ask when I'm not on camera.
Yeah, you're like, darn it.
Next door, like, oh, I know that one.
So to continue on there, some of the uses for the numbers, like we said, was nuts and bolts, shop and industrial equipment, cables and chains, as you mentioned, door hinges and locks, tools. That came up today with one of my dealers. He asked, would it be something, could I actually put it right on my tools? I think it was, it was Brian. And he said, there's nothing I hate more than when I grab a tool and there's some rust start developing on it.
Yeah, I hate that too.
And so the tools, automotive doors and latches, lawn and garden equipment, metal doors, equipment storage. And I've been saying, because Aaron and I went out and experimented with these a little bit, because, you know, at one time I didn't have labels, so we couldn't figure out which one was which at first, and I was like, well, one's a spray and stay. This one really stays as well. And so somebody asked me, can I undercoat my car with it? Well, that'd be a lot of work. It's not going to be spray out like a spray paint can, but you know, they come with these nice little shorty nozzles that go into, they stick on the back there. Watch out. But the question would be, application wise, you can squirt this on a rag or on a sponge, and like I know somebody was telling me that they've got they see some oxidation starting to happen on their brake lines underneath their car. Well, this would be an excellent application to throw it on a rag. You moisten up and just run and coat your brake lines real good, and you'll be well protected, especially up here in this salt that we deal with. You know, so there's just a ton of applications for this.
Anything else on this?
Just the only other things you can use it for. You know, it's just as far as when you put a formula like this together, you try to, like I said, think about how it's going to be used. So it's a neutral formula, aniline point wise, so it can even be used for, you know, spraying an O-ring before you.
So when he talks about the aniline point, when you get a high aniline point on something like acetone or something, and it comes in contact with rubber or an O-ring, it breaks them apart. Like it sucks them dry and they snap. So having neutral aniline point means that you are good for seals and rubber things.
That's good, except for one. I remember to make this note because we learned this in training this week. All seals except EDPM rubber. It says not to use on EDPM rubber. I have no idea what EDPM rubber is, but all other seals it says it's good. Do you know what EDPM rubber is?
Yeah, I do.
Well, why don't you share with the group?
Share with the class, Kevin.
Yeah, it's basically any type of seals that would be, not to get into like the technical aspects.
Let's get technical, Kev.
Exactly what EPDM rubber is.
Kevin, poo your back.
Any bearings that would be used in an automotive application and subject to hitting a petroleum product would not be that material.
Right.
They
You're
would
safe
be,
in that application.
Yeah. So, you know, in typical automotive applications, you'd be good, you know, lubing up an O-ring to make sure that it
Where'd they
seats
use
in place
EPDM?
properly.
What would be an example of that?
Uh,
I'm trying to remember myself. I had this on my CLS exam. They go through all the different.
We were just talking about CLS exam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a long time ago. So I had to get a refresher course.
You got homework.
Yeah, I have homework to
Can't
do.
think of it. Okay. I don't
But
remember
secondly,
I'm not good.
we a couple other things we learned about it that are other uses as well is quickly displaces moisture, and it doesn't wash away, right? It resists wash away.
That's part
It's
of
tenacious.
how you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of the construction of the formula. That's how
Gotcha.
keep the rust.
One cool thing is
Gotcha.
it removes grease and grime and removes the labels, tapes, and stickers, dissolves adhesives as well too. So if you're, trying to, you get the leftover stuff, it pulls it off really easily.
So if there's like a label on your T-shirt, you spray that on there, and they can pull the label right off. And it
I
takes
don't know
the
if you want to do
adhesive
it on a T-shirt, but we can try it. We can take it to the lab and find out. So let us know if you have any questions on the Never Rust. Great product. It's available right now. It's on the website. Our dealers have it. $13.45 for a 9-ounce can. And maybe can you grab us like a board or something? Let's spray some of this stuff and show some people how it. Grab us something to spray, right?
Yeah.
Why not? All right. So Kevy, tell us about some spray and stay.
Spray and stay?
Spray and stay grease. I love the name spray and stay grease because people say grease that you squirt out of a can. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's an application for that, and basically, kind of what the name implies. Sometimes you want to spray lubricant in place and you want it to stay. Either you don't want it to drip in a place that you want to keep clean, like an RV, or
A garage door.
garage door. Yeah, garage door is a good application for that. So
Huge for that.
the spray and stay, it's a thicker product, and as a result, it stays in place. It doesn't have as much of the ability to creep as the rust preventative does. The idea is that it would just, it's for lubricating slides and those type of applications.
For quick action.
So
Now,
if
as
you-
far as how it's put together, the two formulas are similar in the fact that it also has extreme pressure additives, so it also hits that 250 kilogram
EP.
threshold.
Yep. So like on a garage door, your chain, if you have a chain instead of a belt drive,
Right.
and you spray it with a WD-40 type product,
Yeah.
and then you close the door, and it drips down on your car. You
Right.
have this line going right down the
Yeah.
middle of your car.
Absolutely.
So that's a perfect application for spray and stay.
Right.
In areas where it might get into water, even though it's not made to be biodegradable, you could still use those types of products as long as they don't drip into the water.
Right.
I'll tell you, golf courses, places where you have mowers going, you have chains and things, you don't want the lubricant to drip down onto the green because then it leaves a black spot.
Right.
So places like that is where spray and stay would be critical.
And it does stay. It's certain. And so this, I kind of said in my meeting this week, if something, I was telling Don, some of us old timers like the old school grease that you kind of get your hand in and wipe on something. Those tough to find spots, and tough to apply spots, like we said, chains and different types of things. Though there's multiple surfaces you're trying to reach. That's where this comes in as well too,
Yeah.
because it's going to find and you can spray it all around something like that, and still stick there and hold.
Yeah, exactly.
So some of the uses: overhead doors, chains, hinges, nuts, bolts, latches, moving parts, gears, locks, cables, bushings, slides, tracks, all good stuff. I know I've got a sliding door that goes out to my back deck,
Yeah.
and over the years that's really, and I've cleaned it out. And I thought it was leaves and stuff jumped them in there, but I'm going to try to throw some of that on there. I think it's probably going to be good for that as well.
yeah, definitely.
And that way it's not going to run off and
Make a mess.
and then my dumb dog will lick it all up off the floor or something,
Yeah.
so, because he would. So, and one thing I want to point out, if we go back to, Levi, if you go back to that, the chart from Never Rust, this kind of goes back to the first thing I said about these products. There's some similarities in the way that we built them. If you look at the chart, the, WD-40 came in at 120 hours on that salt fog chamber result. And that was one of the best things we found on the market. And again, the Never Rust is 2,700 hours. Well, our stay and spray grease, if that was our Never Rust, it would be the best on the market. It came in at 216 hours, which is better than anything we found. Like double, almost double anything else on the market. So it's got great rust properties too. Better than anything out there.
Correct.
Just except it's 10 times short of how good that one is. So these really are best of all worlds, but then they have their really focused specialties. This one is the lubrication aspect of it. This is the anti-rust aspect of it.
Yep.
So we say it sprays on thick, will not run or drip. It stops friction, stops squeaks, prevents binding, sticking, and deterioration. It adheres to metal surfaces. I was hoping you'd grab me some metal. We'll try cardboard. Protects against rust corrosion. Now this is something we talked on earlier too. Will not mar paint, rubber, or plastic. So it's safe to use on those surfaces. Like, people are talking about automotive. Should I mask my car? Should I avoid the paint? Well, sure we want to, but it's not going to damage it. Not going to mar it. and there's no gumming. So do we want to see if it will spray and stay?
Sure. Why don't you go ahead and be our demo guy. So what you should see is this one will kind of fly up on there like an 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch.
Where am I spraying?
No, I do on the inside. And this one will kind of absorb in a little bit better.
Do we have a... Oh, I got
Yeah,
to take the
pull the
safety
safety.
lock off. What's that? Yeah. Oh, I gotta be 8 inches, right?
Yeah.
There we go. So if I hold here, let me see if I can. There's the.
Can you get that on the camera? Can they see that, Levi?
I can't see it. Oh, there's some metal.
All right. Good man.
Door cam.
Use a door cam. All right, bring it over here.
Calling me the dork?
Here.
The never rest is going to be a lot thinner because it's made to do that. So that close enough?
Get a little closer to the camera. That camera. Yep.
So you can see this is going to stay.
And like once it's on there, it really feels like a grease.
Yeah, it does. It does feel like a grease. It's like
Spray it. Spray the never rust again and watch it run. And that actually stays pretty good. I consider that almost a spray and stay. But you'll see it run because it's a little bit thinner. But the way that that comes out, it just sticks.
And probably this has a much higher EP rating. Or
They probably can't hear you guys. Speak loud.
it probably has a much higher EP rating because it has more of a grease type texture to it, so a higher foam strength. Where the other one is made to prevent the rust from building up for a longer period of time.
Let's see if you can set that up so people can see it ain't gonna move the whole time. That's really cool stuff. The way it could just stick there and like instantly turn to grease, and then when you touch it, it feels like it's very thick. It actually feels like the type of grease that you stick your hand into and lube stuff up with. Like, could that be used to, you know, a lot of times when you pack bearings and stuff, is that thick of a grease?
Yeah, actually, that is one of the applications.
Really?
We don't mention this, but it
just
actually
did?
meets a military spec that has certain performance for use in that application.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's great, and those are often hard things to get into. So
Yeah.
to have the aerosol version is great. So we do recommend that you shake the cans thoroughly to mix the contents and hold the cans 8 to 10 inches away. If I'm not mistaken, these people might wonder why we have these kind of weird looking tops to the cans and stuff. This is, and there's a rattle ball in there as well. We're mixing on the way out, right?
The spray grease is.
Spray grease, and that's what
Yeah.
creates the
Two
the
components
grease
mixed together
stickiness.
and kind of emulsify.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is a patented process where you're bringing in two pieces and mixing them in the nozzle coming out. So that's very unique in the market.
Gotcha.
It's not the same as everything else out there.
It's cool stuff. When first time I squirted on something and saw it like hit and turn to like sticky grease, I thought it was pretty crazy. So, anything else you want to touch on that we didn't?
Mention, Kevin?
I think we hit the key points.
Okay.
All right, let's catch up on any questions we got. Tim Trunk says, need some for the sodium chloride road spray we use up here in Ohio. That's like our heavy salt stuff, right? The liquid stuff they put down. It'll protect against that, right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
All right.
Kind of like the undercoating idea. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Put in a bigger can though.
With a fan spray and just make a couple passes on it.
I'm thinking fruit tree sprayer myself.
He's want to bold or something. Mass Traction says spray grease is a very important with chain driven. You nuts, especially down here in the southern region where the salt air attacks everything. When using a tire rotator, you know he's got the rotators that lay the rubber down on the tracks. Everything is driven off the chain. It is extremely important to have everything lubricated and not rusted. Well, I'm betting I'm going to have Brandon. I got a message from Brandon asking that he wants to test this stuff out. Dan Zelton's in here. Nick's in here. Can you use one of these on a motorcycle chain with O-rings?
Yeah, the spray and stay grease would be the best for that application.
Spray and stay. So there you go, Terry. Spray and stay would be good for the O-rings there. Kenzie Kess says hi. EDPM in some RV roofs. Is that the rubber maybe?
Yep.
There you go. That's why you probably heard of it.
Yeah, that's where I heard of EDPM roof. Yeah.
Clinton Gaston, one of our top fans, asked, what about exhaust manifold, studs, bolts, and nuts? How well will it stand up? Now, temperature-wise, I believe the spray and stay actually goes higher. Spray and stay's operating range is negative 80 up to 400 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it depends what your EGRs are.
Yeah, those applications get a lot hotter than that, but the synthetic lubricant actually will probably, it'll probably still work in that application. You know, of course, it's pushing the boundaries of it. You'd almost have to experiment with it and see how well it works. But there's a decent chance it would work well in the manifold bolts.
Okay, we could probably try that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dan Yost says, gonna need samples, Kyle. Well, Dan, it's on sale right now on the website. Get you a bottle. Stand Steel, oh, we're gonna get that one. EPDM rubber. It's ethylene that words.
Where are you pointing to there? Oh yeah, ethylene propylene diene monomer.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
Last couple comments here.
That's hard to remember.
Master Truck says definitely replace his white lithium grease. Hot Shot Secrets has a scientific backing to perform 1,000 times better than any other product in the market. I don't know if we're going to quote 1,000 times, but 22
okay
times. And I love it. Amazing gentlemen. You're changing the lubrication world as we speak. So thanks for the great comments. We appreciate it. Glad to have the band back together. It's been a while since having you guys on the set.
Seriously.
Thanks for everybody tuning in. Let's give away some of this stuff. How about I'm going to pick Terry Howard and Stan Steele. Why don't you give Levi a message on Facebook? We'll let you choose which one you want. If you want the Stain Spray Grease or the Never Rust lubricant, as you can see, it's still staying there right on the pan. It hasn't moved, and we're really happy about the stuff. It is available now. Contact your local independent dealer or hit up the website, and we'll get some out to you. And Terry Howard, Stan Steele, send us a message. You guys have any closing comments?
Nope. Thanks for everybody for tuning
Yeah,
in.
thank you.
And try to get in here more often.
That's right. Till next week. Have a good weekend. We'll see you next Thursday.
Yeah.